WEAU.
From WEAU TV Eau Claire, this is News Center 13 at 10 with Michelle Magadance and Jim Mertens. Weather with meteorologist Don Moldenhauer. And Bob Brainerd with sports.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. The future of two municipal pool projects have come to a head this evening.
Important steps in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls outdoor pools were made. Reporter David W. Carlson from Chippewa Falls tonight on a decision to pull the plug for the second time on that city's pool.
We've got to do something. Either we're going to have a pool or we aren't going to have a pool, and it's just that simple.
By a vote of 8-1, the combined Parks Board and City Council voted not to open the deteriorating city pool next summer. Bringing the pool up to safety codes would cost an estimated $400,000 to $500,000.
And then that doesn't improve anything. In fact, that, I think, puts us farther in the hole.
The decision sounds like these almost certainly won't be heard next summer. Instead, city residents are likely to hear about plans to build a new pool. The council voted to try and raise nearly $900,000 for a basic pool described by a consulting firm tonight.
A lot of people voted no for the pool, and I voted no. I'll be the first to admit, because it wasn't a basic plan. There was no set things and saying, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it.
But selling a new pool to city residents won't be easy. Voters turned down a plan to use city money for pool construction last April. The earliest a new pool could be completed is 1990. David W. Carlson, News Center 13, Chippewa Falls.
The pool issue in Eau Claire is no longer a matter of cost or even location, but is tonight a question of soil test.
The Eau Claire City Council late this afternoon decided where the new $1.7 million pool should be built. Aldermen voted to make Fairfax Park on the city's south side home to the new city pool. The council chose Fairfax Park over two other proposed sites, Carson Park and Buffington Park, which is near Cameron Street. The Fairfax Park option won with a majority of 6 votes and had the support of one alderman representing Eau Claire's north side.
Despite of any consequences, I'm back to my original decision. I think Fairfax Park is the best site.
Now that the decision on where to put the new pool has been made, the city will begin taking soil tests at Fairfax Park to determine whether the ground there is suitable for an underground pool. The city hopes to begin the tests within the next 2 weeks. Eau Claire city officials have also given the nod to a municipal budget, which totals almost $50 million. The general fund budget passed unanimously after minor changes were made by aldermen.
Almost $1 million is owed to the Farmers Home Administration by delinquent Eau Claire County farmers. The FMHA is calling on farmers who are 6 months due on loan payments to make arrangements to repay the money. That will affect 20 farmers in Eau Claire County. Even more Chippewa County farmers are affected, 33 in fact. Farmers in other area counties also owe hundreds of thousands of dollars. The FMHA says notices are being sent out this week to some 1,500 farmers statewide. An advisory council wants to spend nearly $3 million to nurture an infant industry into becoming big business in Wisconsin. This genetic engineering experiment, which was recently completed in Pepin County, would benefit under the council's plan. The panel today voted in favor of spending $2.8 million in state funds to promote biotechnology in Wisconsin. The council is also pushing for regulations that would require companies to notify the state before any genetically engineered organisms are released into the environment. The recommendations will be passed on to the state legislature.
Many state welfare recipients face benefit cuts next month. The State Bureau of Economic Assistance says more than 2,800 welfare recipients haven't complied with the state's Learn Fair program and could see benefit cuts. Recipients of aid to families with dependent children faced the cuts for failing to meet school attendance requirements last month. The passenger in a car which struck and killed 5 young Pulaski girls last month can remember that accident. The Pulaski police chief says Tina Karch can recall the accident but would not respond to specific questions. The driver of the car, Tina's brother, 17-year-old Scott Karch, will not talk with authorities.
A University of Wisconsin-Madison fraternity has received a 5-year suspension. The school's Inter-Fraternity Council handed down the ruling today after the fraternity held a mock slave auction last month. The fraternity's lawyer says the expulsion was preposterous and unfair. The university group may consider a lawsuit against the council. The top secret invisible bomber was unveiled today for all the world to see. Before a crowd of 500 invited guests and news people, the B-2 bomber, better known as the stealth bomber, was rolled out of its hangar. The plane is all but invisible to radar and is worth about $500 million a copy. There is no fuselage and no tail, just 2 long wings with a cockpit in the center. The plan is to build 132 of the ominous-looking bombers. Testing of the bomber will begin sometime after the first of the year. Today was not just another day. It was a day to remember. Still ahead tonight at 10, Howsam looked back at the day President Kennedy was killed.
And we'll have a report on a history professor who believes Lee Harvey Oswald was not the man that fired the fatal shots. That story when we return.
Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. A papa bear, a mama bear.
No, a cowboy story.
Okay. Once upon a time, there were 3 cowboys. A papa cowboy?
No, a real one.
Hello? Dad, I need a cowboy story. Quick.
Wisconsin Bell Long Distance. It costs so little and says so much.
Dad, a real one.
She wants the Lasker diamond. For 60 years, Lasker's has offered the finest quality diamonds at the best prices. I'm Charles Lasker. I'd like to invite you to visit one of our stores and save on the quality diamonds she wants. You'll find special anniversary prices on diamond jewelry, including engagement rings, anniversary rings, and more. This Christmas, as in so many others, she wants a Lasker diamond. Ask her, then see Lasker.
The new Remington Electroblade vibrating blade system has been an amazing success for those who prefer shaving with a blade. Electroblade's high-speed motor and vibrating twin blades glide so easily, you'll get the closest, smoothest, most comfortable blade shave you've ever imagined. If you don't, I'll give you your money back. Safe, immersible, and cordless. The new Remington Electroblade vibrating blade system. A blade shave like you've never imagined, or your money back.
Hello, I'm Lee Markwood. It's the Fall Festival of Value right now at Lee Markwood Chevrolet, and that means big savings for you. Right now, when you buy a selected new Chevy car or truck, you'll get up to $1,000 cash back from Chevrolet. That's right, up to $1,000 cash back. Use this money towards your down payment or just put a little extra in your pocket. Combine this with our Auction Saver Pack, and you can save up to $2,500. Stop by and check out the details at Lee Markwood Chevrolet.
Look to Robert W. Baird and a trained investment officer for your investment future. This week's investment officer is Peter Pavelski. Call Robert W. Baird at 836-9990 in Eau Claire.
It was a quarter of a century ago when President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas, Texas.
And today, 25 years later, millions of Americans are remembering JFK. Hundreds of people visited Kennedy's gravesite in Arlington National Cemetery. Kennedy's sister, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, came to his grave. She had her own special memories of what she called the high points of her brother's life. Ethel Kennedy was also at the cemetery today. She visited JFK's grave, as well as that of his brothers, who was her husband, Robert. Robert was also a victim of an assassin.
A spokeswoman says Kennedy's widow, Jacqueline, and their 2 children attended a private mass today at a New York City church. Members of the Kennedy family reportedly want to remember JFK on his birthday and not on the date of his death. The legacy of President Kennedy was remembered by some Eau Claire grade schoolers as well. Their teacher, Dave Smith, remembers that Friday when the president was shot, and today he shared part of what he felt with the students. The kids then responded with what they had learned.
Well, I thought he was a good president, and I just thought people liked him, and that's why he elected him.
I think he was a president that had many ideas to help the world.
Though 25 years have passed since that tragic day, doubt still lingers about the man who allegedly pulled the trigger. Lee Harvey Oswald never lived to stand trial.
But the evidence, or so we've been told, would have been enough to convict him. At least one Kennedy assassination expert who spent 20 years studying the evidence isn't so sure, though. As News Center 13's Rob Krivik tells us, this man is convinced Oswald never fired a shot in Dealey Plaza.
Tucked in a cramped UW Stevens Point office, history professor David Rohn is ending his day like he has every other over the past quarter century, reliving 6 seconds in Dallas that forever changed his life.
The motorcade is coming by here. We understand Governor and Mrs. Connolly are in the car with President and Mrs. Kennedy. We can't see...
I came to the conclusion, a reluctant conclusion, but a necessary one based on the evidence, that Lee Harvey Oswald did not shoot John F. Kennedy. The evidence is simply not credible, and any court in the land would have thrown it out of court immediately.
Rohn did not reach that judgment hastily. He has spent countless hours reading every available book or document relating to the assassination. It was and is an obsession. Slowly, he has put the pieces of the puzzle together. Evidence that he's convinced proves Lee Harvey Oswald did not fire a shot that day in Dallas.
4 witnesses placed him on the first floor eating his lunch at the time of the assassination. And he can't be eating his lunch on the first floor and be on the 6th floor at the same time shooting the president. And the evidence does 2 things. A, it removes Lee Harvey Oswald from actually participating in the assassination, and B, requires a conspiracy to have shot him. And Oswald's not in the window.
Rohn has carried his conclusions to cities and college campuses all over the country. Ranked among the top 10 Kennedy assassination experts, he remains haunted, though, by a question he cannot answer.
It seems to me the only responsible answer to the question of who shot John Kennedy must be one that most people will find not convincing nor really acceptable, but it seems to me it's the only real question. I don't know, and I don't believe that anyone in the federal government knew or could find out, and that's one reason they had to cover it up.
Rohn accuses the government of overlooking or doctoring key evidence, ignoring some witnesses, pressuring others, all in a frantic attempt to convict Oswald and quell conspiracy rumors. This historian says they may have misled the public for decades, but the truth surrounding the Kennedy assassination will eventually triumph.
And we will come to realize more and more clearly what happened here when our federal government deliberately, at the policy level and at the practical level, refused to investigate the murder of John F. Kennedy. The important thing in the 25th anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination is not who shot him. The primary point is what happened to the President of the United States and the cover-up, and why that was cover-up, who covered it up. That's wrong, it's not right, it's immoral.
Rob Krivik, NewsCenter 13.
So the debate will continue, of course. And still ahead tonight at 10, an update on a tropical storm named Keith as it heads toward the Florida Gulf Coast.
And some Eau Claire kids got to experience Turkey Day a little early. They had a feast fit for a kid.
Don't miss Farm and Fleet's Holiday Savings Gift Guide for incredible values on brand-name gifts. Look for sound savings on Sanyo electronics, from mini-size personal stereos and powerful boom boxes to feature-packed home music systems. Save now on Sanyo. Farm and Fleet has Sunbeam 12-speed stand mixers for $63.99. Sunbeam's Power Pierce can opener with knife sharpener, $15.99. And Duracell C or D size battery 4-packs or AA size 8-packs, your choice, $249 after rebate. Only during Farm and Fleet's Holiday Savings Sale.
The Chippewa Manor Retirement Community.
We at the Chippewa Manor Retirement Community are very proud of all we have to offer. Our dining room, chapel, convenience store, beauty shop, transportation to Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls, all the conveniences that create worry-free living. Along with elegant surroundings, we never lose sight of our top priority, people. Our staff knows each resident personally in our family atmosphere.
The Chippewa Manor Retirement Community. The Pick and Save Advantage. It's a whole lot more of what you're looking for.
There is only one low price leader when it comes to Thanksgiving. Pick and Save. At Pick and Save, 10-pound and up grade A turkeys are just 47 cents a pound. Limit 1. 39-ounce assorted varieties Folgers coffee is $4.48 with coupons. And 8-inch pumpkin pies are $1.48 with coupons.
Pick and Save, the advantage.
There's apparently an alarming increase in the nation's population of learning disabled children. Are their needs being addressed as they should be? In Wisconsin, more than 30,000 students are currently enrolled in LD programs. But a UW Eau Claire professor says there may be many others who fall between the lines of the state's criteria for determining a learning disability. Tomorrow at 5, William Frankenberger, who recently shared his views and research with the state legislative committee, will comment on the current situation in Wisconsin. Join us.
Volkswagen Fox appeals to people for a variety of reasons. So what has people choosing it?
But it's not a wagon, it's a Fox wagon.
It feels like an expensive car, and it's not.
I couldn't leave without taking that car with me.
When I first drove it, I knew for sure that I wanted to buy this car. They kind of sparkle. I think it's a great-looking little car.
For an affordable driving experience, test drive a new 1989 Fox sedan today at these Volkswagen dealers.
I think Volkswagen makes great, affordable cars. I wish they made houses. I'd buy one.
There is some good news and bad news tonight for folks living on Florida's Gulf Coast. First, the bad news. Residents along the Gulf Coast are being urged to batten down the hatches as Tropical Storm Keith comes near. 65-mile-an-hour storm could begin hitting the coast before morning. The good news, however, is that Keith is expected to lose strength as it crosses the land. Nevertheless, many are heeding the warning to prepare for the worst. Some good news also tonight. The storm does not appear as though it will strengthen. It will cross the coastline, lose the strength, as you said, but then as it tracks back out into the Atlantic, it'll start to head to the north more and should not strengthen into a hurricane, at least. It could be a strong storm along the northeast coast. We do have an updated satellite picture to show you of Tropical Storm Keith tonight. This is the latest shot coming down from space, and you can see the spiral of clouds as they push on into the western Florida coastline. The tropical storm center now just out to the southwest of the Tampa Bay area. It'll make landfall later on tonight. Tropical Storm Keith right now packing winds of about 65 miles an hour. There have been a couple tornado touchdowns with the storm, caused a little bit of damage in a mobile home park in the western part of the state. As this system rolls in later on tonight, 4 to 6 foot storm surge tides can be expected. As that system tracks on through, some flooding is definitely a possibility there across parts of coastal areas of Florida later on tonight. Big storm system in the southeastern part of the country. We're also watching a storm system roll on in from the Pacific Northwest. We'll put the satellite into motion. You can see the clouds have been gradually spreading on into the western part of the country during the afternoon hours. This is a powerful storm system. Winter storm warnings are in effect tonight for much of the higher elevations of Washington State, Oregon, on into Idaho, and also into parts of California for the higher elevations later on tonight. As much as a foot of snow is possible with that storm system as it tracks on in. Powerful winds in the upper atmosphere are helping to give this storm system energy and will help to push it on into the central part of the country later on in the week. We may see some precipitation from it along about Friday, and out to the west you can see another storm system rolling in the Pacific that'll catch up with that system in the middle part of the country later on about the weekend and give us pretty much a wet and pretty much a soggy weekend. But for this afternoon, we just had a few clouds here and there, made a big difference in some of the temperatures. Readings in the 40s where the sun was out, 42 in Black River Falls, 39 this afternoon in La Crosse. A little bit cooler with 25 from Kleenhoff and Ladysmith. The warm spot, 43 from the 8th grade science class over there at Pittsville Elementary School this afternoon. Over in the Twin Cities, 39 the high temperature, and also 39 for a high temperature today in Milwaukee. For us here in Eau Claire, we had a high of 40 degrees, our low 21 this morning. No precipitation for the date. Normal high 38, the normal low 24 degrees, and 6 below is the record low set in 1921. Sunrise tomorrow morning is at 7:13. Outside right now, mostly clear with 29 for a temperature. Relative humidity stands at 72%. Winds are southeast at 5, and that gives us a wind chill of 24. The barometer is holding steady at this time. Kind of a partly cloudy night. Some more clouds as you go to the north. Also a little batch in the southwestern part of the state. A lot of the cloud cover that you see to the north is actually some fog. Some of it could be dense later on up to the north of us, but most of the central part of the country is enjoying a rather quiet night. The storm system along the southeast coastline and that next system starting to roll on in out to the west. And as that system comes ashore, heavy rains are possible also with it tonight, including also the heavier snows in the higher elevations. For us, the fog should stay to the north of a weak trough of low pressure that's lying across northwestern Wisconsin and also on into parts of Minnesota for tonight. And the heavy rains are going to stay out of the area until later on in the week if we see much in the way of precipitation at all. But quite a bit of heavy rain tonight along the Florida coast and also that moisture out to the west. We'll take a look at the weather map for tomorrow. You can see us in between storm systems, some sunshine on the way in, and then the wet weather later on in the weekend for Thanksgiving. Things are not looking too shabby at this time. As a matter of fact, we're expecting the weather to look a little bit better than we even thought at 6. We'll say mostly for increasing clouds now on Thanksgiving Day. The showers should hold off until after sunset. High temperatures at least in the lower 50s. Forecast for the Coulee region tonight, a few clouds and cool, 25 to 30 for lows. Tomorrow in La Crosse, mostly sunny and warmer, 45 to 50. For tonight in the Chippewa Valley, variable clouds, some fog to the northwest, 23 to 28. And then tomorrow, some sunshine warming up, high temperatures in the middle 40s. The extended outlook then calling for that chance of snow by the time the weekend rolls around. Okay. Coming up next in sports, the Bucks try to keep Indiana winless this season.
And Bob Brainerd will have prep basketball scores and highlights in both girls and boys action. Stay with us.
There's a special feature coming your way from Domino's Pizza that'll ruin the Noid's day. Special savings on the silver screen. Maybe the biggest offer you've ever seen.
Hungry? Call Domino's Pizza now and get a freshly baked, piping hot, large cheese pizza for just $6.99 plus tax. This offer ends soon. Hurry, call Domino's Pizza today.
Hurry, because this won't last forever. For savings like these, it may be now or never. Domino's Pizza delivers savings.
During Farm and Fleet's Lee Glacier Week, you'll discover the lowest prices of the year on the widest selection of Lee's popular new Glacier Wash styles. Girls sizes 7 to 14 Glacier Wash fashion jeans from Lee are on sale now for $19.99. Choose from banded yoke pleated front jeans, zip-back jeans, or tighter riders in black Glacier Wash denim. Girls 4 to 6X Lee Glacier Wash jeans are $15.99. Farm and Fleet even has Lee Glacier Wash for infants and toddlers, priced from only $11.99. Only during Lee Glacier Week at Farm and Fleet.
FS Appliance and TV says, bah humbug to high Christmas prices. Get holiday savings now. Right now is the time to lay away a Litton at FS Holiday Savings. From the little Litton to over-the-range built-ins. All in stock for immediate sale at FS. Plus, get holiday savings on Hitachi, high-quality VCRs, camcorders, portable, and big-screen TVs. All holiday sale priced at FS. Holiday savings at FS across from London Square, downtown Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls, and Black River Falls.
Once voted one of the 10 best cars in the world by Car and Driver. Called the original and still the best by Motor Trend. And hailed as a breakthrough by the automotive press the world over. It is the front-wheel drive Dodge Caravan. Still unequaled and the #1 selling minivan in the world. The 1989 Caravan, the new spirit of original thinking, only from Dodge.
Get the luxurious look of 100% pure wool sport coats at Muldoon's Menswear with over 350 wool blend colors and styles to choose from. Stop by Muldoon's where quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
There's an area boys basketball team with some high hopes.
Yeah, one team in the area that definitely would like to go a step further this season is the Chi-High boys basketball team, because last year they lost to Stevens Point and lost a trip to state. They are off to a 2-0 start this season. Tonight they took care of Hudson 76-61. The Cards built a big lead by halftime, 42-24 over Hudson, then kept it up in the second half. Inside and down low to Jay Skalecki for 2 of his 13 points. Hudson did make a bit of a run at the Cards in the third quarter. They cut the lead to 10. On the nice break here, nice pass from Ty Christopherson to Ben Hinsman, who got 2 on the foul, but not many highlights after that for the Raiders tonight. Jason Reichel comes up with the steal for Chi-High on one end, right there. Then he'll take the ball down court. Now Reichel will head to the corner, pull up, and hit the three-pointer. Reichel led the Cards with 17 points tonight as they win. Another Big Rivers team opened its season with a win tonight. Menominee over New Richmond 64-44. Watch the move underneath by senior Todd Leipnitz of the Indians. He'll change hands in mid-air to hit the tough hoop. Indians led at the Tigers 19-8. Leipnitz 13 points and 8 rebounds. Good outside shooting took over from Menominee. Brian Nelson planted and hits the three-pointer from the top of the key. Nelson led the Indians with 20 points tonight. Another three-pointer coming up for the Indians, and they'll get the rebound on one end, start the break, then kick it back out, and there's Luke Madsen to bang in another three-pointer. He had 13 points. Menominee wins at home 64-44 over New Richmond. Other scores: Prairie Farmer winner, Alma, and Independence win. Stanley Boyd by 2, Melrose Mindoro and Taylor winners. Baldwin Woodville by 4, Menominee winner by 20, and Cadott by 3 over Greenwood. Gaelic Trempealeau wins. Viroqua winner by 1, Chi winner over Hudson. Aliva Strum won, so did Wausau Newman, and Eau Claire Manuel by 10. Prescott a winner by 2, and Altoona big over Mondovi. In girls action, Eau Claire Regis beat Menominee in a non-conference battle tonight, 59-50. Regis had a three-point lead at the half, but then it got close in the third quarter. Menominee's big 6-footer in the middle is Tina Potter. She gets the hoop inside, and it was tied at 40 at Regis after 3. But then the Lady Ramblers ran up 6 straight points to open the fourth period. Watch the jumper right here by Lee Murphy for 2. Regis never trailed after running up that 6-point lead. They get the steal on Potter on one end here, get it down court quickly, and then it's number 30 Heather Janison for 2 more. Regis wins it at home 59-50 over the Menominee girls. Duran was also winner tonight in girls action. Phillips over Winter, and Arcadia big over Whitehall. Regis a winner by 9, and Eau Claire North beat Rice Lake 59-49. The Bucks gave to a needy charity tonight. The 0-9 Indiana Pacers finally won a game this season, thanks to the Bucks, who lost 105-91 at Indianapolis. The Bucks had the lead at the half, but then came the second half. Vern Fleming was red hot for Indiana. Watch him go all the way down to the lane after a Bucks miss. Indiana had a 10-point lead after 3 periods, 79-69. That erased a 4-point Bucks lead at the half. Chuck Person gunned his way to 18 points in the night, but 10 of those in the fourth quarter as Indiana pulled away from the Bucks. A run of 10 straight to open up that fourth quarter by the Pacers gave them a 20-point lead, and the Bucks never caught up. They lose it by 14, the third straight loss for Milwaukee, and the first win for new head coach of Indiana, George Irvin. The Packers cut kicker Dale Dawson today. He was just 3 of 5 in the field goal department in 4 games with Green Bay. Dawson replaced Max Sendejas a month ago, but on Sunday, he missed a field goal and an extra point against the Lions. Free agent pitcher Nolan Ryan, rejected a $1.5 million offer to pitch for his old team, the California Angels. Now, that opened the door for the Brewers because Harry Dalton talked with Ryan a few weeks ago. Ryan said he would wait for an offer from the Brewers, but then Dalton told Ryan's agent that the team is no longer interested in the 41-year-old pitcher. Dalton said Milwaukee hasn't gone to the free agent market for 8 years now, and that policy won't change. Ryan will not entertain offers from the Angels again and his old team, the Houston Astros. That's sports.
We'll be back with the final story.
The new instant game from the Wisconsin Lottery is called simply Instant Cash.
I'll tell him how to play.
Okay.
Instant Cash. Just add water.
No, you just scratch out this area and match 3 of a kind to win. Up to $5,000 instantly.
There's even a grand prize drawing for $1 million.
That's right.
Maybe my fish will win, huh?
No, only humans over 18 can play. Instant Cash, new from the Wisconsin Lottery.
Are you sure you don't add water?
Only if you want a soggy ticket.
Wrap it up, hurry, don't you wait. We've got special gifts for Christmas Day. Wrap it up and keep it all a secret. Wrap the Christmas dreams away. Wrap up the seasons. Wrap up the seasons fast.
Wrap up your Christmas at the 100 stores and 10 restaurants in Oakwood Mall.
Wrap it up.
Of the times, the Gunnison sign on a lawn means that problems like this are being solved. It's no wonder Qualified Remodeler magazine named Gunnison Energy Systems in its 1987 Leaders listing. When Gunnison's experienced team prepares your home with quality mineral wool insulation, you can be sure of professional workmanship. Uniform density in sidewalls as well as the attic is part of the finished product with Gunnison Energy Systems. We've been stopping winter since 1947.
EDP Computer Systems of Eau Claire and Marshfield says convert to the gold standard, Delta Gold. High-performance network-compatible PCs for today's business, educational, and home environments. Most normal options are standard with Delta Gold. EDP's commitment is to provide the best in technology, unequaled support, and service. Get a free demonstration on Delta Gold, a powerful computer with unique user features. One of several Delta Gold models will fit your specific needs. EDP Computer Systems, Platt Street in Eau Claire and West 29th Street in Marshfield, taking the mystery out of computers.